Today we're going to talk about a future that is coming way, way faster than you might think. A future where that whole idea of online checkout, that little buy button we click all day long, is about to just disappear. So let's get into it.
Seriously, just imagine that for a second. No more filling out forms, no more digging out your credit card, no more clicking to confirm your order. Instead, the things you need just show up. So how would that even work? Well, this is where it gets really interesting.
It could be as simple as this. You just set a goal, right? Something like, hey, just make sure I never run out of my favorite coffee. And then your personal AI agent just gets to work. It keeps an eye on your supply, finds the best price from a vendor you trust, pays for it automatically, and the coffee just arrives at your door. No clicks, no hassle.
Now, this isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. This is Agentic Commerce. It's a total rewiring of how we deal with money and merchants, and it's all powered by autonomous AI.
This isn't just about making things a little easier. We're talking about a full-on revolution here. We are shifting from a world where we're all just clicking on screens to a world of conversations and commands, where our AI agents basically execute our financial will.
And this slide really nails the key difference. Right now, AI kind of helps us on a screen. It'll recommend a product, but we're still the ones in charge. We're the ones who have to click pay. The future of agentic commerce, though, is pretty much screenless. You set the rules of the game, and your AI acts as your trusted financial agent, making the payments happen behind the scenes.
So, at its heart, agentic payments is all about autonomous action. It's about taking the human out of the loop for every single transaction, because you've already given your permission upfront.
And the scale of this whole thing? It's just staggering. The global payments industry already brings in over $2.5 trillion in revenue. All of that money, all of that infrastructure, is now basically up for grabs as this new agentic layer gets built right on top of it.
Okay, so how does this actually work under the hood? Well, to make this happen, we can't just slap a pretty new interface on the old system. The fundamental rules of how money moves and how we prove who we are, they have to be completely rewritten.
This table breaks down that shift perfectly. So authorization, that goes from you clicking pay every time to you just setting a rule once. Authentication, that goes from checking your phone or your browser to actually proving your agent's identity cryptographically. And the risk models, they're going to look at an agent's reputation, not just your personal browsing history. And the interface? Poof, it's gone, replaced by systems just talking directly to other systems.
To build this future, the industry needs to create entirely new plumbing. We're talking about new frameworks for delegating your consent, new ways to prove an agent is who it says it is, totally new kinds of programmable wallets, and risk systems that can work in real time with zero human oversight.
And that brings us to right now. There is a frantic, high-stakes race happening as we speak. The biggest names in tech and finance are all scrambling to build and standardize these new rules, to create what is, for all intents and purposes, a brand new Internet of Money. And just look at how fast this is all moving. In just a handful of months in 2025, we saw this flurry of huge launches. Mastercard and PayPal got the ball rolling. Then you had heavyweights like OpenAI, Stripe, and Google jump in, with Visa right on their heels. The race is already on.
And what's really fascinating is that each player is tackling a different piece of the puzzle. You've got Stripe and OpenAI, who are all about speed for developers. Google's trying to build a universal layer for governance. Visa, they want to create like a guest list of trusted agents for merchants. And then you've got Coinbase, which is focused on that world of tiny machine-to-machine microtransactions.
So what's really important to get here is that these protocols aren't all just competing head-to-head for the same spot. They're actually forming a brand new, specialized stack. Some will handle the transaction itself, others will handle the rules and governance, and still others will manage the underlying trust.
Okay, so the board is set, the pieces are moving. The big question is, who is actually in the best position to win in this new world of agentic commerce?
Well, the existing giants, they each have a pretty unique advantage. Stripe, they've got the hearts and minds of developers and these incredibly powerful APIs. PayPal has a massive base of consumer wallets and, decades of built-up trust. And Visa and Mastercard, come on, they literally control the rails, the underlying network rules that everything else is going to be built on.
For all of these companies, the very definition of being a payment service provider is changing, like fundamentally. They are moving away from just helping you check out and taking a fee. Their new job is to be a trust broker, providing the identity and the controls for a world of autonomous financial agents.
This really says it all, doesn't it?
It's a shift from processing payments to underwriting trust. And that is a totally different and honestly, a potentially much more valuable role to play in the new economy.
Okay, so we've talked about the tech, the big players, the new rules. But let's bring this all back home. What does this future of AI financial guardians actually mean for you and for your money?
First, let's just talk about the size of this thing. Projections are estimating that by 2030, Agentic Commerce could be a $3 to $5 trillion market. So yeah, this is not some niche little trend. It is on track to become a massive part of the global economy.
So for businesses, it means your API is suddenly more important than your website. But for us, as consumers, our main job with our money shifts from filling out forms to managing permissions. The most valuable real estate in this new world isn't a storefront, it's the permission toggle in your AI settings. And for the whole system, well, there's a huge question to figure out. Who's on the hook when an AI messes up?
I think this is the perfect way to think about it. Your job is going to be to set up a financial firewall for your AI. You'll define what it can access, how much it can spend, and which stores it's allowed to shop at on your behalf. You become the rule setter, not the button pusher.
Which really leaves us with one final and pretty critical question. This future, it's coming, and AI is going to be making financial decisions for you and probably sooner than you think. The race is on to build the platforms that will power it. So, who are you going to trust to get it right?